Easy Sports Talk Show, Javon Adams and Ed Smith. You can call me Jay or J Love. That man over there, he played not only professional baseball, but he also played in the National Football League for that first Super Bowl bound team for the Atlanta Falcons. I'm talking about, again, none other than my brother Ed Smith. What's good, man?
Man, I see you showing off the muscles on Friday, man. I see you getting it in.
Yeah, trying to, man. Trying to. It's cool when your significant other starts to notice, or when, because kids are significant others and kids can be the most harshest. They're the truth tellers, right? So it was what was it, a couple weeks ago? I was walking around the house and Elijah says, "Oh, I see you, Dad, trying to get all swole." I said, "There we go." So I'm on the right path. I'm getting there. I'm on the right path, man. And I mentioned the Atlanta Falcons. Aren't you going? Don't you have something that's coming up here in the next couple of months? Something about that team, a kind of
December,
a reunion of sorts.
25th year, kind of. They're going to recognize us. 25th anniversary of that team, so it's in December. I think I'm gonna go back to that.
That's cool, man. Yeah, you should go. Yeah, might as well go. Yeah,
cool. I didn't realize it was that damn long. I'm not damn old.
Yeah, it's funny. Sometimes when I'm listening to, I'll listen on Sirius XM, so I'll listen to Shade 45 or sometimes Rock the Bells, and I'm thinking, oh, what? How come Rock the Bells is more old school, really underground, the harder edge kind of old school stuff, and they'll play a song, and I'm saying, man, that only came out in 1990.
Yeah. Oh, even that was 20, yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying, it's 95. It's still 28 years ago, whatever it is, so yeah, sometimes you feel older than you need to feel. So, but it's all good. You're only as old as you feel. But so we do this thing 3 times a week on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Tell a friend about what we have going on. We also have Believe in the Arizona Cardinals. That's BLEAV in the Arizona Cardinals. And that's on Mondays and Thursdays. And we have our latest episode up, so check that if you're interested in our breakdown of and we're going to talk a little bit about that today as well, of the matchup between the Arizona Cardinals and the Cincinnati Bengals. And then we have our radio show, which is every Saturday from 1 to 3 Eastern, terrestrial radio show. And if you are not in one of the 98 markets that we are in, then you can go to sportsmapradio.com and you can click on the little play icon in the upper right corner, or you can download the app to your Apple or Android device. My son, who is in Norfolk, he listens on the app as well. So so my wife, when she's riding around town, and so she'll listen to it as well. But so a couple things I wanted to get to. One, I'm kind of confused about a certain football player. So I want to get your thoughts on that. Of course, we're going to break down, just kind of give a recap of our thoughts on the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cardinals matchup. But first, again, I want to just give props to the Arizona Diamondbacks. They advanced. They beat they beat the Brewers, so it was a 2-0 sweep. One of the things that we talked about earlier this week, I mean, it's one of those things where it's a short series, so what do you think can happen? But I think a 3-game series is better than a 1-game series, so at least that. But they are advancing to play the big bad Dodgers. But just happy for Torey Lovello again, so want to give him props. But they're going up against the Dodgers. Merrill Kelly's going to be starting. The series starts on Saturday. This is a 5-game series, so still a shorter one, so anything can happen. Maybe David can jump up and kind of bite Goliath, because the Dodgers have had the Arizona Diamondbacks number. So will you be in tune to this one to hope to root on your partner, Torey Lovello?
Absolutely. And I actually reached out to Torey after they won got into the playoffs, and he responded. And, it's kind of cool, to be able to let him know how much, we're supporting him. And, one of the things I'm curious about with the MLB is they don't reseed. Like, they don't go higher, lower seed against, So this matchup, and what it's done, it's caused a couple matchups of teams that are in the same division, because you got Phillies, Braves, Diamondbacks, Dodgers. And in reality, it should be Braves, Diamondbacks, because they're the 1 seeds to get the 6 seed Diamondbacks, 2 Dodgers to get the 4 Phillies. But they don't reseed, so it kind of makes it awkward where you got these. And I guarantee you, both organizations, Braves and Dodgers, the 2 teams they didn't want to see was their opponent within their division, because they know each other so well. We know the Dodgers very well because we play them so many times. And they cut it down this year because they beefed up the schedules with more
with the
opponent. Everybody had to play everybody, but still in this division, a season, you play more of your division opponents than anybody else. And over the course of years, we've seen these guys a gazillion times. So familiarity is kind of almost the enemy of the higher seed in this. And Dodgers, they've had a great season. Braves had a great season. I guarantee you they didn't want to see these two opposite teams. So for us, it gives us hope. I know we're facing the Dodgers. Here's the thing. Could be worse. We could be facing the Braves, though, because the Braves are the juggernaut.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying that the Braves are going to roll through this postseason. So we get the Dodgers, our known foe. I think it does give us an advantage because we do know them so well. How we match up against them, we'll see, because Dodgers are always got their pitching, and they've got. Here's the thing about this that you mentioned. You said David and Goliath. This is because right now, the average fan, if you said, okay, name me 5 guys off the Dodgers, starting pitching and position players, most people could roll it.
Freeman, Betts, Kershaw. They got Martinez. They got So I get you. Yeah.
And then if you said, okay, now I'll give you a minute, name me 5 Diamondbacks. Is Corbin still there? It's like you would have to think about it.
Yeah,
and that's even for me. I'm watching the lineup. I'm like, because I don't watch the 162, so I'm getting a little more familiar because obviously we beat the Brewers.
Corbin Carroll is a beast, man. That dude is fast on the base pass. He's a beast, man.
Yeah. But I'm, so I'm getting familiar with this team, and I'm, regardless of how we finish up with these Dodgers, this has been a successful season. And once again, I will say it: Diamondbacks, get off your ass. Get this man a contract, multi-year contract. They come with this 1-year BS again. I'm boycotting. Not only will I not watch the 162, I won't watch you if you get into the playoffs. Yeah, I will, because I support Tory. But come on, man, get this man a contract. This dude made you a gourmet meal with that chicken scratch that you gave him. He got you to the playoffs. At the beginning of this year, Jay, what did we say? We were like, man, if they
500.
That was going to be a plus.
The ceiling.
That was the ceiling, And at one point, before the Dodgers woke up at the All-Star break, we were in first place. We went into the break only a game and a half backing them. And then the Dodgers obviously ran away with the division, but we fought off everybody else, got into the playoffs, and you still got this man on a 1-year contract. Shame on you. Shame on you. That's like your mom, you had a beautiful woman in your life, and you out there still running the streets and acting up and everything, and you come home, and your mom, like, she's just looking at you like, because she know what you did last night. You know where you was. You wasn't with who you were supposed to be with. And she looking at you like, she's just shaking her head like, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. And that's exactly what I'm saying to the Diamondbacks. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You need to get that man a long-term contract and get it over with.
All right, I heard
it. About that rant.
I love it. I love it. Is there any concern the last 2 series that they played? I believe I was the last 3-game series that they played and the last 2-game series that they played, they got swept by the Dodgers. But here's the thing, that when you take that 162 and then you break it down, some good teams will beat up on bad teams, right? And so you should have a lot of that mixed in there, especially if you're a 100-win team. But when it comes to playing a team that can maybe pressure you a little bit the way that the Diamondbacks can, because they'll try to steal some bases, that type of thing, it's going to be incumbent upon the Diamondbacks to not take that recency, that history in terms of the way that they've lost to the Dodgers, to let that get into their head. And if they can try to jump on it and take game 1, that can help with that confidence, and they can really start to believe that they can maybe take down the Dodgers, right?
Here's the thing about baseball, Jay, and the Diamondbacks, they're feeling good about themselves because they got those 2 victories in, so they're they had some recency right here, so they're feeling good about themselves. Baseball is the weirdest game in the world, where it's all about how the ball bounces, and it's not about sometimes, like with basketball, you get the 5 best dudes on the court, what's going to happen? Those dudes are going to go out, more likely they make their shots. They're too physical for the other team. They can jump higher. They, can shoot better. Everything. They win the game. In football, sometimes it's how the ball bounces as well. Ball hits somebody's hand, goes off a helmet, bounces 6 times, somebody picks it off, goes the other way. There's fluky things in football as well. In baseball, it is the most flukiest sport in the world. You get a team that can go up and scald the ball all over the park, but if they hit it at everybody, those are outs. And it's like, how did they? And they end up, a team will get one hit in the game. It's like, how the hell did that happen? That dude was, every time you turn around, there was dudes on base, people hitting line drives, but they were hitting them at people. You get a pitcher that's hot. You get a fluky play, a ball that, goes over the base or hits the base and pops over the first baseman's head, goes down the line. It's just the fluky nature of baseball evens everything out. So in saying that, you got a 5-game series, who knows what could happen. And that's just the way baseball is. There's no rhyme or reason to it sometimes. So when a team like the Diamondbacks, you win that series against, and you go on the road, all 3 games are going to be in a row, but you get a sweep. So you're now feeling good about yourself. Dodgers have been sitting around for a few days.
That's key. I think it's not key, but that's something to consider too. Yeah, because you've been sitting around, you rested and feeling good, but then you gotta ramp back up.
All the batting practice in the world doesn't give you for last 2 for 2 days. Diamondbacks on the road, hostile environment, had to go over there and survive, and they did it. Meanwhile, you sitting at home eating shrimps and prime rib. You just hanging out. Getting fat on the hog, taking some bat practice. At 162 was over, and you had it wrapped up so long you didn't even have to get riled up to get in. I remember this too. Dodgers, they won the division by 14 plus games. They've been They've been on cruise control for the last month, not just the last week. They've been on cruise control for the last month. Everything's been going good. No, type of angst or anything like that. Now you got to ramp it up. Now, like I said, the Diamondbacks coming here and they're like, hey, we just won a series. Hey, let's get along. Let's get along. Dodgers are like, alarm clock just went off. Hey, what time is it? Oh, snap, we got to play a game? Okay, let's go. Yeah, let's play. Everybody ready? 1, 2, 3 team.
Oh man. Easy Sports Talk Show. That's Ed Smith. He's always hilarious. And again, we do this thing 3 times a week. So I didn't realize. So this is talking about Thursday Night Football. The Bears won. They beat the Washington Commanders. I didn't realize that they were on a 14-game losing streak.
Yeah, they were on a heater, bro.
I mean,
they were on a bad.
And I thought you told me, and I thought you tried to prove to me last week on our terrestrial radio show that Justin Fields is bad, but he's had a great last 8 quarters of football. Well, good last 8 quarters of football.
Who they play, Jay? You played a raggedy Broncos defense. And then I said to my son on the way to school this morning, Ron Rivera and his staff need to be fired now.
Magic on there trying to take a blowtorch to the team, which I think doing that stuff publicly, that doesn't do any good for your team, man.
It doesn't, but I mean, Ron Rivera came in here already with the noose tied around his hands because you new ownership, you haven't sparked any confidence in this new brass, and you get a new coordinator in here, but as far as like fire under the belly or anything like that, this is how you go out and represent, and you want to try to keep this job. Nah, they're up there already making their search. They got a search committee already started putting together, whether it's in season or after the season. He's gonna be cleaning out his locker because this type of loss, short week after what the Bears have done first 4 games of the season, and you let them come in your house and punk you, go in your refrigerator, take your berry punch. I mean, golly, that was disgusting. They just laid down last night, and you can't have that. This is pregame. I caught the last 5 minutes pregame before the game start. They're talking about how excited they are. Them talking to old heads, talking about how there's a new feel in the organization, new ownership. And we're going to get that feeling back. And then you go out there and lay that. You just embarrassed Doug Williams after everything he was talking about. Come on. That was ridiculous.
Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, man. So I take it that you are not believing in Justin Fields. So he hasn't. I'm 2 or 8 quarters. of play in terms of which he seems to be a little bit more dynamic, or maybe he's not thinking as much. That's still, because you mix those 8 quarters with a 14 game losing streak, or a 1-in-15 last 15 game sample size. That's still pretty bad.
It's bad, and here's the thing: it's who you beat and how you beat them. So we got Bronco win against the Broncos, or lost against the Broncos after you were up 28-0. Then you get this one on the road. Okay, so now we're 1-5, right? That's like being lost, and the GPS tells you we've found your destination, right? Because it looks like Justin has found his way, right?
Yeah.
And then you pull up and it's the right address but the wrong location. There was instead of ad, we're at street, that type of thing. So this is you found some magic for a game. Okay, we're 1-4. We've won one out of our last 14 or 15, right? We still got a whole long stretch of road to go, because we like I said, we landed at the right spot, wrong location. I tell you got a long way to go to prove to me that all that other mess that you showed me wasn't the real Justin Fields. So I don't. One game and a few quarters does not erase all the stink. I told you that thing about the trying to put some deodorant or put some cologne on the stink. We talked about it a long time ago. Out there running.
Sometimes, but after I'm running,
running to get funky, and all of a sudden squash, and you think at some point that funk gonna rise to the top, Jay.
Yeah,
cologne can only cover up so much.
Standing in line and they looking around as if to say, "Who is that?" And I'm looking around. Yeah, who is that?
It's like that? What it is, because you know how it is. After you run, you cool down real quick, and then you squash real quick, and then you go somewhere and you stand in line, and on a hot day out here in Arizona, and you start to sweat again, and all of a sudden the cologne smell is all of a sudden and like you said, you start fanning, trying to cool yourself down, because if you get too hot and too sweaty, the funk gonna rise. So you sitting there trying to cool yourself down, got your towel, try to blot it down under the arms and stuff like that.
I hate you, man. I hate you. Easy Sports Talk Show. So leave me with this. Let's talk a little bit about the Arizona Cardinals and the Bengals matchup. So again, it's Bengals -3. They're coming to State Farm Stadium to play the Cardinals. Joe Burrow, he said it's one of those things. No, everything's okay here. Nothing to look at. No, I'm good. I'm fine. What are you talking about? I'm good. Maybe not in terms of how he feels. He has that the calf, right? But again, what are your thoughts on this game? What do the Arizona Cardinals have to do to win this game? Because I think we'll know if Joe Burrow is okay. They should probably bring in the first series at least bring at least one blitz his way to see, can he move, and if he can't move, it might be on for the Arizona Cardinals to win this game. What do the Cardinals have to do to win this game?
Get after Joe. I mean, like you said, from the very beginning, I'm not letting him get comfortable. I want to test him, see if he can move. If he turns out to be that sitting duck target like he has looked like over the last few weeks, now you know where you got to get to. And with a mobile quarterback, you got to worry about him escaping and then where he might get to make his, reads. And with Joe over the last few weeks, it's like he's going to be in the pocket. That's our destination. That's all we got to get to, because he can't move. The other thing I talked to you about, Jay, when we did the Believe podcast, you should be willing to take a couple shots at some of these short routes, especially with Jamar Chase, because he's dinking and dunking all the way. They're doing these outs and stuff because he doesn't have the necessary strength in that calf to do a 7 or 5 step drop and then heave it down the field. So everything's in front of them. So what I'm doing is I'm watching some of these timing routes over the last few days, and I'm like, everything is a hitch or an out or this or that. I want some coverage where I might disguise it initially where it looks like one-on-one on the outside, but I got somebody rotating to that side, meaning a safety up, and all of a sudden at the snap of the ball, he's going to cover deep on that side, because I want my corner, looking like you're bailing, and boom, we're making a break on that ball. We want to try to get one of these and go the other way. That's that's my theory. And, if we come out here with this conservative approach off defensively and we let them just kind of establish running game, then dink dunk all down the field, we're going to be a long day for us. But if we get after them and then on the other side of the ball, run the ball, and then, hey, push it up the field a little bit. But don't be crazy, because Cincinnati does have a tendency, their defensive front is kind of Heckle and Hyde.
Jekyll and Hyde.
Jekyll and Hyde, yeah. They are sometimes they'll get after you, and then sometimes like where are they at? But so you don't want to be dropping back too much and letting them get after you. But hey, let's get a couple times where we try to take the top off that thing and go deep. Give Dobbs has been very careful with the ball. He's been very, protective. That's good, but at some time we gotta let him, open it up and show him some love. Let him throw that ball deep. So like I said, in beginning of the year, we both thought this would be one of those L's for the Cardinals. I think we both think that this could be Cardinals winning this game at this point.
Yeah, definitely. I think Cardinals probably by 3. I think it'll be one of those types of games. So we shall definitely see. But we do this again 3 times a week: Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Tell a friend about what we have going on here. You can go to easysportstalk.com. You probably see it there if you're looking at our YouTube page. That right there at the bottom underneath my name, easysportstalk.com. We put the shows up there as well. But if you're whatever your digital streaming platform that you use, you can just search Easy Sports Talk Show. And then on every Saturday, our terrestrial radio show from 1 to 3 Eastern, Easy Sports Talk Show on SportsMap Radio. If you're not in one of our 98 markets, you can definitely go to sportsmapradio.com, click on the little play icon in the upper right corner, or download the app for your Android or your Apple device. And then, of course, we do that Believe in the Arizona Cardinals podcast. Go to believe.com, BLEAV.com, search Cardinals, and then or just you can go to SiriusXM app. We everywhere. We're trying to do it. We leveling up. So on behalf of the one and only Ed Easy Smith, I am Javon Adams, and as I always like to say around this time, you can